Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you a book that I have been reading that is absolutely fantastic. It has really touched me, it has really inspired me to become a better mom. This book has a really great part in it about better habits for moms, and that's what I want to share with you guys. This book is called Brave Mom, Facing and Overcoming Our Real Mom Fears, and I think it just really does a fantastic job of diving into what it is that consumes us as moms to be, the situations that we're put in, the situations that we face with our children, the feelings that come with that, and just navigating through that. And this book, if you haven't read it before, was a great read. I mean, there's so many fantastic parenting books out there, but I think this one has just really hit home for me. I'm a mom to 2 boys under the age of 5, so we're hitting a lot of emotional challenges right now, obviously with lots of growth, development, milestone hitting and things like that. I feel like it can be very consuming, very overwhelming, and you want to pour everything into your children. You want to give them the best possible life and experiences and loving, supportive home that you can possibly create. Doing so encourages and forces you to become a better human being yourself. Ultimately, it really shines with where your faults are. It really showcases how you interact with people, how you do tasks, how you handle disappointment or failure, how you overcome challenges, how you persevere. Like all of these things that are part of who you are now are what you are sowing into these little people, and they are literally going to be the adults of tomorrow. And I don't know about you, but I want my children to feel on top of the world, like they can accomplish anything, that no matter what they set their mind to, they can do it, that they have the emotional, physical stamina and stability to be able to go out and conquer and do the things that they want to truly do. So this book has been really inspiring with the habits that they're going to talk about. There are 7 habits to a better mom that they're going to cover, and I just want to bring them to light and share them with you guys, hopefully inspire someone out there to take on one of these habits and encourage you to make it part of who you become. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm not like saying you have to do these things. I absolutely adored these habits, and I personally want to cultivate them more in my life and refocus on them and make sure that I am working on becoming a better mom in a more consistent and focused way. The first habit is to form a S.W.A.T team of support. I love this acronym, S.W.A.T being Special Weapons and Tactics for moms though, because like we need that. But I love that it's formulated this sense of like tactics and like military style support. Like, this is who I go to for this support. This is what I do, and this is the resource that I trust. This is where I can go to find this information. Like, I love that feeling of, and it's a feeling of empowerment, I think, that when you have your support team, then you feel empowered to take on those challenges with your children and with raising a family. Now, in terms of support, they talk about things like having mentors, mom groups, and just having a network of people that you are able to regularly check in with and that can regularly check in with you. I think that's so healthy. I think it's so helpful. It's great support. I know that with COVID, there was a lot of challenges with seeking out support groups, and people tried to have support groups through virtual support groups, and there's something to be said about that you can find support virtually, but there's also something with having that person-to-person, face-to-face interaction. And I love the support groups that I found through play groups, through some other moms that invited me to their mom groups. I have some really great resources on the internet that I really trust. I really like their parenting style, and I've also been just doing a ton of reading and trying to encourage my husband to also read with me so that we can grow as a couple and take on more challenges as parents and how to grow our children into the adults that we would hope to be. I think it's really great to have local groups, local play groups that your kids can mingle with. You can see and meet other parents who are in that same stage of life. Like, there's something to be said about like being able to meet with parents who have children the same age as yours, but I also really love meeting parents who have kids that are older than my kids, to be able to ask for their advice, perspective, thoughts, how they went through those challenges. Especially if I see their children and their children are absolutely flourishing, then I want to know how they did it. I also find a ton of inspiration on Instagram. There are some really phenomenal people on Instagram that talk and share about how to deal with your toddler in a tantrum, how different ways to communicate with them, different ways to communicate things that you say poorly. So I really love finding that inspiration. It just really helps feed me and what I want to encourage what I really want to encourage for my child. Number 2 is to prioritize spiritual development and to find a spiritual rhythm that works for you. I think it's so important as a mom to find that sense of purpose, to find those things that truly feed your soul and feed who you are. For me, that's taking time to have some gratitude. I am definitely more of a negative focuser, so I need something to draw me out into a more positive light. They talked about journaling, being really able to reflect and think about what experiences you've had, and I really like to utilize a gratitude journal myself, and I've recently been encouraging that with my son, when we lay down at bedtime, just thinking about all the good things that happened today, focusing on the things that we enjoyed today, what are we grateful for, and just not letting that word be so stuck on my tongue. I want it to roll off so smoothly for myself, and I want it to roll off smoothly for my children, to be able to say, I'm grateful for this. For me, another really important part of my spiritual rhythm is to be able to have time to read, to be able to invest in myself through my reading, and taking time to pick up a personal growth book, work on myself, and put that into practice in some way. Additionally, I love hitting the mat and doing my yoga practice, just finding my inner peace, my inner calm, finding that center. There's so many words that are cultivated in yoga that I find come to fruition through a practice of movement. And then obviously just spending time in God and in God's Word, going to church, spending time with like-minded souls is so valuable. And I know as busy moms, sometimes you're not able to go to church. You're not able to take that time that you would studying the Bible in depth. And I love how they talked about in this book, just sometimes it's going out for a walk, whether that's reminding yourself through prayer, through opening your heart, through letting go. And I just feel like it's those small moments that as moms we need to take advantage of them for ourselves and to find that rhythm and peace for ourselves so that we can carry that through our day. Number 3 kind of ties into number 2, and it's to invest in yourself before you become a mom. I really dug into this and into personal growth before we became parents. It was really pivotal to me that we conquered certain major areas of our life, and I really wanted to personally grow and develop myself and my skills as a human being. And so this, I think, really hit home for me, that I felt really accomplished in it, and I can say that I still absolutely adore personal growth. I love reading personal growth. I love talking personal growth. I love going to personal growth events and seminars or groups or small groups, and just talking about things that are associated with that development in yourself. And I think that's why this list of 7 habits really struck me, and that's why I really want to share them with you. Obviously, investing in yourself doesn't have to be just personal growth. I love that they talked about it's doing things that you enjoyed before you became a mom. The one lady said she loved going to the playground and swinging, and then she sat on a swing and she remembered how much she enjoys swinging, not just pushing a kid on the swing. For me, honestly, I love doing new things. I love going new places, trying new foods, going out with new people, meeting new people. That really fills my soul, and it makes me extremely happy to think about and to do. So I feel like the act of making sure that I'm doing new things with my kids really helps feed and invest in who I am as well. The things that you find joy in, taking time to do the things that you truly find joy in, whether that's working out, yoga, exercising, running, a game of tennis, drawing, painting, video gaming, just like taking the time to feed and invest in you and what you enjoy so that you have that joy as part of who you are. Number 4 is to allow yourself the margin, the room that you need. I love this. I think so many of us are pressed for things that we have to accomplish, things that we have to do, deadlines we have to meet. In terms of kids, milestones that they need to hit. You're always talking about the next thing they gotta learn, the next thing they gotta do, the next step they gotta take. And I feel like we need to take that breath and just release and let go and know that all things take time. Everything takes time to grow. When you plant the seed and you water it and you give it care and you give it love, but it needs time to grow. And just giving yourself the space to do that. Give yourself room for a mini vacation. Give yourself time to decompress, to be a human again, not just a mom or a worker or a coworker or a wife, just to be yourself. Give yourself the space to go out into the world and just be you. And I think that the value in this like mini break from the little people in your world really sets you up to come back to that world with so much more presence, so much more energy, and so much more love. So I know for me that when I get an opportunity to be away from my children, whether it's like half an hour or a few hours, like it's just stepping back from that situation, having time for myself to be able to come back to that renewed and re-energized. Number 5 is to keep your sense of humor, and this one definitely is like my husband all over it. Like he is the sense of humor in my world, in our world. And like when I'm having a stressful day with the kids and he comes in and he's all goofy and funny, I'm just like, oh yes, we need to have fun. And I know that sometimes I'm the serious one, and like I take things too seriously sometimes. I forget that like by having a sense of humor, that's where true joy lies. And you know, I have a quote on my wall that says, measure success each day by how much fun you're having. And I need to be reminded of this. That's why I wrote it on my wall. But it's so valuable to have fun, to have joy each and every day, to find moments of joy. Lightness in your heart, obviously the health benefits of laughing and being joyful. There's so many de-stressing toxins and stress hormones that get released when you have fun, when you're joyful. That alone should make you want to be more joyful. And the lightness in your spirit, that is what speaks true joy to your children. And I think that is a really lifelong quality to cultivate. Number 6, perfect tie-in for number 5 for me, is to invest in your marriage. I love my relationship with my husband, but I know that it needs work. It always needs work. You always need to make time for that person that was there before children. And I don't know, like mic drop, like that's all there is to it. Like you need to make time for your spouse. Number 7, I love this, is to parent with the end in mind. These moments that we go through with our children, they're just moments, the tantrums that are happening, they're not who your child is going to be forever. The crazy running wild animal, that's not who your child is going to be forever. I'm going to read something from the book that really struck with me. Emotionally healthy, resilient moms don't panic. They realize that the tantrums of today are just that, symptoms of what is going on in the moment, not indications of what will always be. The messes and fits that are a daily occurrence, don't throw them, because they know they're just the building blocks to the adults they will become. Healthy moms remind themselves that rarely does a child start school not potty trained, and that refusing to eat carrots won't scare them for life. They will mature, they will grow, and they will change their mind. There's no better finish than this, parenting with the end in mind. I think that we can get so caught up in these little moments, the things that aren't happening or the things that aren't going our way, but ultimately that's not the reality of what's going to always be. That to take the long view is so much more beneficial for us and for our children, because they are the adults of tomorrow. We are building the adults of tomorrow. We are everything that we have gone through, everything that we have overcome and we have accomplished is going to be surpassed by our children. I think that taking the steps to cultivate more of these habits in our life are truly what will make us better human beings, make us better moms. Which of the habits do you want to work on and cultivate more in your life? You know, what 3 things can you do to work on that habit? What are actionable steps that you can take to encourage these habits in your life for yourself, to grow yourself? Is there someone that will hold you accountable to it? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this content inspiring. I hope you were able to take something positive away from it.
Did reading rules.
You're welcome.
Thank you for making supper.